It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Friday episode of The Oil Stream. It is Nielson and Gazzola with you. As always, The Oil Stream is brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen with 12 locations, 7 of them in Edmonton. You can get that Popeye's chicken sandwich. Maybe you're looking for a biscuit. Maybe you're looking for some seasoned fries. DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, and Uber Eats is where you can get that taken care of. Plus, the guys who own it, huge Oilers fans.
Yes.
So you're supporting the Oilers when you're getting a Popeye's chicken sandwich. It just works out well, Tommy.
It's this circle of love, baby. It's just the circle of love. That's all it is. Furby's a beauty. And I love me some fried chicken from Popeyes.
I don't think you can get these anymore. So I've got collector cups. Might give these away during the playoffs. Why not? That might be a fun little thing.
Have you used them?
Yeah. That's I guess I could just use them too. That's
So
like
you
a liter of cola. I haven't used them. They're just sitting right here, buddy. They are unused. I think my kids put water in one for some reason. The one that looks like Elizabeth's Cassian jersey. They call that cup Cassian. It's the cup. So
I love it.
But yeah, we might give those away. Hey man, maybe I'll sign them. Say they're used. Somebody can auction them off. How's that sound, right, Tommy? That's good. Hey, what do you think of What do you think of the new haircut, buddy? What do you think?
Very nice. Short,
Thank you.
sweet, to the point. It's well kept. I like it.
It's nice and tight. Are you going to go for a visit here before things get shut down? Or are you going to let that flow grow out?
Truth be told, I actually went to get my hair done last week. Chantal at Le Salon Exalté.
That's right.
She's been she always makes fun of me because I'm like, hey, Chantal, just this season, we're going to let it go long again because I like having the greasy long hair. I call it the Tino Vaselino. And she's like, all right, fine. And so she's just gone along with it. And then I said, all right, in the summer, when the Oilers are eliminated from the playoffs or when the playoffs are done, you can cut it short, do whatever you want to it. And she's like, okay, fine. So I actually went last week. I'm good till the end of the month. And hopefully by then the restrictions are lifted a little bit so I can get back in there to get my coupe de cheveux.
Yeah, get rid of that Tino Vaselino.
No way.
Later in the month.
Yeah.
All right. It's Nielson and Gazzola with you. If you're watching on the live stream, obviously subscribe to the podcast, the Oil Stream, and all your podcasting platforms. And if you're watching today as well, you can chime in. D-Card says, an hour early. What a treat. Yeah, I got some Mother's Day running around to do. So I figured if we do it early, I can retweet it out again at noon, and people who watched it at noon usually will just watch it again. So I think we've got all our bases covered. That's smart thinking in the streaming world, Tommy. Sub today.
Hit that like and subscribe and mess with the algorithm and all those good things. I love the YouTubers. What's up, guys? How's it going today? And they just come with all these stupid, obnoxious posts, and you're like, I hate you now. I used to like you. I hate you. I cannot stand you.
I didn't want to hop on here today and do this, but I just had to because these cups from Popeyes are changing my life.
OMG. Click the link below. You'll get 15% off. Hit enter code The Oil Stream.
OS 15. And that's what you're going to get.
Yeah. And then in like 3 hours, we're back. Hey, guys, forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
We had a snippet, never before seen, from like 3 weeks ago. Just wanted to get out there. Have a great weekend.
Oh, buddy.
Like and subscribe.
It's like you've been like doing like putting together a demo for this. Like you got this thing nailed down, buddy.
First of all, I've watched way too much YouTube over the last year. Secondly, apparently all my friends and people I follow on Instagram have too, and they've really bought into that BS.
All right, let's get to last night's game was something. By the time you rolled into the rink, it's 1-0. You're looking at all of us. You come walking by me. I was like, first shot, top cheese, mark it down. And I mean, and it just got like, imagine allowing a goal, top corner, and first shot, first minute of the game, and then it just got worse and worse and worse, Tommy. Just a nasty, nasty night for Koskinen.
Yeah, statistically, probably the worst in Oilers history, and fittingly. I think
that's with the team who had Gage play for him.
Poor Gager. Great tweet last night from him yesterday.
Yeah.
He would stop the first one, but not the second, third, and fourth. I looked at you, and right when I walked in is when Vancouver scored that first goal, and I was like, Koskinen special? And you were like, yep, top cheese. And Hernan looked at me. He's like, well, Höglander made a nice play, and it was a good shot. It was. But Dusty, I mean, I'm going to quote Ghostbusters. I did this on my show last night. I messed it up the first go-around and really pissed me off, so I had to do it again. But the brilliant Dr. Peter Venkman said it. Call it fate. Call it luck. Call it karma. I believe everything happens for a reason. And maybe the reason that this happened right before the playoffs with Mikko Koskinen starting with not just the first, but not just the second, not just the third, but the first 4 shots he faced going in the first dozen minutes is a huge sign from the universe saying, this guy can't do it. Here is your proof. It would be one thing, Dusty, if it happened 2-3 times in his 23 starts this season. You go, boy, that's a coincidence. But it's 6 times this season, with the last one being the most embarrassing. That is more than just a coincidence. That is a pattern. And I think it's a red flag, a massive one from the hockey gods to the Edmonton Oilers saying, I know you're loyal to this guy, but maybe reconsider who your backup is.
So you're thinking, and I don't think it will, but you're thinking it should lead to a Stalock look here at some point. It would have been great if they had him dressed last night, and then you could have got him 2 periods last night, which, I mean, it's tough to look back and say hindsight, but if you really wanted to truly give Mike Smith a night off, you could have just got Stalock in, because he's not even on a taxi squad. Like, he's there. He's on the active roster, right?
And I fully understand the rationale and being leery of giving Stalock time and wanting to play him, and I get that. I really, truly do understand it. But man, that is awful. What we witnessed last night was awful goaltending. I know the first shot was a nice shot, but the Rathbone goal, he didn't challenge that well. The third goal stunk. The fourth goal stunk. He couldn't even break his stick over the post on the first whack. That's how bad it was, okay? I think there are times where the universe throws you one where it's so blatantly obvious, you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. That might be one. And I know I'm being harsh, and I know his numbers have been good this year. He's playing on a good team. He's generally been okay. But boy, oh boy, that is a big concern.
When you allow the first shot to go in 25% of your starts, that's concerning. That's concerning. Who's to say he doesn't have to play in a back-to-back in round 1 of the playoffs, and he allows an absolute backbreaker that changes the way the series plays out? Like, it would be concerning to me. I'm surprised, and I guess part of this would be on Tippett. I'm surprised you haven't got a look at Stalock at this point anyway. He's been eligible to play for you for what now, Tommy? 3 weeks since he's been out of quarantine? Like, at least? Yeah. Like, you could have found some action for him somewhere along the way. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him in the butt. There's like a minuscule chance it does, but you could have eliminated that by at least getting a look somewhere along the way. And I don't think it's happening now. What Tippett said last night after the game, the plan between the pipes isn't even changing because Smith had to play. So if the plan was, what do you think the plan was? Was it Smith on Saturday, split Montreal, and then
Smith on Saturday of next week? Yeah. I think it's that simple. Yeah. You just give him that one last tune-up to be ready to go and stay dialed in, because he's been great all season long. No denying that. He is their number one. Dusty Stalock was a number 1 last year for an okay Minnesota team in the qualifying round he played. Mikko Koskinen has a terrible contract, and he backs it up with some terrible performances like last night.
Valen Camus, man, I picked the wrong year to not say anything mean about Koskinen.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Have you talked to Branko over at Carbon Hitter to get your Valen Camus 000 t-shirt yet for the playoffs? Just curious.
I'd ask for a refund on my 920, but Branko never charged me for any of the shirts anyway, so it'd be a real dick move.
He's a good guy, that Branko.
He is a good guy. Carbon hitter. He's going to work on some playoff stuff for me, so we'll get some playoff swag out there. All right, Connor McDavid, 3 more points last night. And overall, I mean, outside of falling behind 4-0, Tommy, I didn't mind the way the team played the rest of the way. Like, they could have easily, they're playing for nothing. And the only thing they're playing for last night when they're down 4-0 is Connor McDavid to get points, and he got 3 of them last night. But I thought everybody kind of just kept going. There was some nastiness in the game. Like, I really liked their effort the rest of the game. I thought that was an encouraging sign for me that even when there's literally nothing to play for, this team still brought it, which I think is important.
Yeah, a point of pride, too. And let's not kid ourselves, considering how things have been going for the Vancouver Canucks, there's that chance they might dig themselves out of a huge hole. And on top of that, listen, they like Mikko Koskinen. He's their buddy. He's their goalie. He's been around for a few years, and they wanted to get that back for him. And that's what good teammates do. It's honorable. And so they found a way to kind of get scrappy and claw their way back into it a couple of times. But really, the game was out of hand after the 4th goal. Good on them. McDavid, by the way, sneaky 3 points. Could have had a goal on the penalty shot. He had Thatcher Demko. Dusty, where's he at now? 97? No, 96.
96.
So I think he pulls it off tomorrow night. It's just these guys, these superstars, elite level players, they find the right moments. And big Saturday night, and what was supposed to be the final Saturday night of the regular season now is not. But I think he does it tomorrow night.
I think he gets it done too. I think he'll get it done tomorrow night, which is insane to sit here and say we expect a player to get 4 points in an NHL game. But when you saw what he's done to the Canucks already, overall, you should expect a bigger bounce back from the team. And against this Vancouver team, I think McDavid, I was talking about it with Louis at the game before last night, the game. He's like, Dusty, he goes, you watch him and I still think like he's going to crank it up another notch in the postseason because he's capable, which is insane to think. But I was just like, you know what? You might be right. Like, so if he wants it on Saturday night, he's like the one guy in the league that I can sit there and go, he's going to go get it. Because you have 2 points in the first 8 minutes, and then you get 2 points the rest of the way. You're going to be laughing. Special things. All eyes will be on, the late night on Hockey Night in Canada. It's a lot better than doing it on Monday against the Montreal Canadiens. So I'm with you. I think he gets it done. Now, last night, one of his assists was to Jesse Puljujarvi, who's celebrating his birthday today, and we're gonna get to that. It's gonna be your Ken Morrison Remax excellent question of the day. Tommy, do I only ever ask questions about Puljujarvi when I have this? I think I'm
if you do, it hasn't sunk in and it doesn't bother me because I enjoy it. I looked at you after he scored that goal yesterday just to see your reaction. Your mouth was wide open. You had to pick it up off the ground. Yeah. And I walked by you as I was going by at the commercial break, and I was like, did it move when he scored that goal? Did it?
Yeah, and I said, yes, Tommy, my penis moved a little bit. That's what I said to you last night again. But it's weird because when he scores, everybody in the press box looks at me because they know I'm so invested in this guy. Yeah. So, yes, this will be your Ken Morrison Remax question of the day. Visit his website. If you're buying or selling, apparently the market's crazy right now, www.kenrmorrison.com. Even if the market's not crazy right now, I'm building it up like it is. Everybody's buying. Everybody's selling. You've got to visit kenrmorrison.com. Or you can call him at 780-993-4815. Tommy, here's the question. Jesse Puljujarvi celebrates his 23rd birthday today. He will, at one point in his career, score 30 goals in a season. What do you got?
Happy birthday, Jesse. Enjoy that 23. It's going to be great. I will say yes, he will. And it's because he's probably going to find himself, unless due to unforeseen circumstances, he's not on Connor McDavid's line for some reason or another. He's likely going to play there a lot. He's going to get time on the power play finally. He's going to stick that big butt in front of the net. He's going to be able to finish better than Alex Chason. And yes, he will hit 30 goals playing with Connor McDavid at some point over the course of his career. I would think sooner rather than later. And to follow up with what Louis told you last night in the press box, I think McDavid not only steps it up in the postseason, but I think he pushes the bar even higher in the regular season as he enters the prime of his career. And Jesse Puljujarvi, by the way, will benefit.
Yeah, if you're going to get to ride shotgun with McDavid through his mid-20s, I mean, you should be scoring at least 25. But it's the other things that he does that's probably going to keep him in that spot, right? It's the fact that he turns pucks over in the neutral zone. McDavid's back the other way. Like, I think Puljujarvi's starting to do some things that McDavid enjoys playing with him because he knows he's going to go in and get pucks for him. He knows he's going to turn things over. We know he bobbles things every once in a while. I like the fact that McDavid's starting to find him, locked and loaded, ready to go on the one-timer here this week. He buried a couple of those. I think that's something that you're going to start to see. That alone is you're going to see 10 to 15 times a year with McDavid finding him in some one-timer spots. The power play thing, like Chiasson, I've accepted. Alex Chiasson is Dave Tippett's guy. I understand it. I mean, some points, I don't even think he needs to move his stick, and McDavid will shoot it in off there. He should probably stop trying to score himself. But when James Neal comes over the boards in that second power play unit, and Puljujarvi's sitting there watching, it makes my blood boil, Tommy. And I know, James Neal had the great start last year, but this is not last year's James Neal. Will there be any point, do you think, between now and the playoffs where Puljujarvi surpasses Neal to at least get back to being the number 2 guy on the power play?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I think there's a loyalty, again, that Dave Tippett sticks to, and I think that clearly he trusts the veteran players that have been around a lot longer than Puljujarvi than he does the young Finn. So I'll say no. I'll say he sticks with those guys unless unforeseen circumstances, again, come up. It's going to be those two, Chiasson and Neal, before Puljujarvi, which is too bad. Unless Puljujarvi just does something so amazing that Tippett can't not put him out there. But, we've seen it. The loyalty is strong. He doesn't really venture away from it, Dave Tippett.
But it's even weirder now that Puljujarvi's playing with McDavid and Draisaitl even strength. Like, they're out there all the time. I mean, if you were ever going to play him with him, it might be now. But he loves Chiasson, and I've accepted Chiasson. It's the Neal thing that drives me crazy now. But anyway, what are you going to do? That's your Ken Morrison Remax question of the day. Find him online, kenrmorrison.com. Let's get in some web traffic, 780-993-4815. You can find him on Twitter as well at Ken Morrison. All right. You asked a question, actually. It was the Ken Morrison Remax question of the day last week, I think, at some point. It was about Neal and Kulikov. And this is Kulikov. I think he was 3 games in. And it was not a good night. Like, I thought most of the guys played pretty well last night. The breakdowns early killed him, including Kulikov's turnover. Do you think Tippett's just got Kulikov locked in there with Larson? Or do you think there's any chance that if Russell's healthy, Russell and Jones are both in the same game?
I think Kulikov's going to have to do something so bad, so egregious in the next 4 games to find himself out of that position. I think it is more so dialed in, locked in, because even Tippett in his availabilities has talked about how he likes that shutdown pair, how he likes them right out of the gate, and he thought he was going to change it up and try some other guys with Larson and Kulikov with some other guys as well on the back end. And after 1 or 2 games, he's like, no, I think we've got it. So I think he sticks with that, again, to follow suit with him being somewhat stubborn in how he wants to approach his lineup.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably locked in, but the more you see him play, you're like, you got to smooth things out here just a little bit. Like, I know there's just a poor decision last night on that one. The guys were making a change. They were late getting back into where he thought they were supposed to be up the boards, and they didn't hop on it quick enough. And before you know, it's in the back of the net. So that could be a little frustrating. We won't have another episode before they play Montreal, and we assume McDavid and Draisaitl will go torch the Canucks and they'll hit 100 points on Saturday. Do you think we'll see Nuge, Yamo, and Cahoon together against Montreal for a couple of games to see how they fit in a playoff style atmosphere?
Yeah, I don't see why not, especially now that after last night, that was kind of Dave Tippett. He, again, proclaimed, like, that's the last game he's going to experiment with different players, get different guys into the lineup. So it sounds like these next 4 games, basically, this is your lineup. Now, there might be certain tweaks here and there with where guys play in the lineup. And, Cahoon could be one of them. Yamamoto at some point is going to score a goal. You know what, Dusty? There was another opportunity last night that he almost buried but couldn't. Maybe it happens the last game of the year or just in the playoffs. It's a blank slate and he just wakes up. Like, there's always that unsung hero, dark horse that comes out of nowhere and just completely changes their game in the postseason. He might be that guy, given how tough and how snake bit it's been for him lately. So, yeah, I think we see that. I mean, it seems to be going okay, but what's the other option? He slides Draisaitl back down and moves Nugent Hopkins back up on the left wing. There's options there. I still want to see Ryan McLeod, by the way, get a shot from the slot. It didn't happen last night. Very good on the outside. At some point, he's going to work his way in, penetrate the middle, get that shot off, and score that first goal. But it's just not happening thus far.
Yeah, he was buzzing around the zone a little bit, but you're right. A lot of it was perimeter, moving the puck well through the neutral zone. Had a few, I think, shot attempts that were blocked or didn't get through. So yeah, I mean, it'll probably come with time. The Nuge Cahoon Yamo line again. You mentioned Yamo had those chances. I liked it again last night. Like, I thought they did some okay. They just haven't been able to produce outside of that Cahoon goal back on, what was that, Monday, I guess. So I liked it. I really want to see it against Montreal. Montreal's got that big blue line, a bunch of cycle crushers there, so that could be a little bit of an issue. Unless they can take advantage of it with their speed and actually make a guy like Edmondson get turned around, or Sherrod, or whoever, right? Like that could be a little bit of an advantage, but we won't know until we see it.
Well, if they build up their confidence and get a good thing going, good flow, they feel good about their game going into Montreal, and that's important too. And then maybe if you can't get a cycle going, get pucks back to the blue line, get pucks through, and see if you can crash the net. I mean, Cahoon gets pushed off the puck by big defensemen. Yamamoto is feisty, but he'll get pushed off. And Nugent Hopkins is the muscle on that line, I guess. And
it's true. He's supposed to be. He's the big guy on that line.
Right. Yeah. And nothing against Nugent Hopkins, but you don't think of him as a player that's a big digger. You know what I mean? He doesn't muck it up or anything like that generally. He will, but that's not his MO.
All right, that's going to do it for another episode of The Oil Stream. It's brought to you by Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, 12 locations, 7 of them right in Edmonton. And, of course, right now with another lockdown here upon us, not a lot of patios anyway at Popeyes from the last lockdown. So the way to get it done is drive through, DoorDash, skip the dishes, Uber Eats, and it's going to be your official sandwich of the playoffs right here on the Oil Stream, the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Tommy, you will be working this weekend. You've got your Don Wheaton on White pre and post on Saturday. What time you get going on TSN 1260?
6:30 with Connor Halley, Matt Cassian, and we'll bring on a guest for that one. Maybe Irf Gafar. I don't know. I haven't talked to Irf, but it's an hour and a half show. And then Sunday is day of rest. I'm going to do an oil change, I think, Dusty, considering these restrictions.
That's good. That's smart, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Get that. I got to get one done too. I've also got 2 headlights that are out, both headlights on my right side. Yeah, I should not be driving around in the dark right now, so I got to get that taken care of. So maybe I'll get something like that done too. All right, buddy. Well, have a good weekend, and we'll be back next week as we wrap up the regular season next week here on the Oil Stream and get ready for the playoffs, buddy. Thanks a lot, man. We'll catch up next week.
Sounds good, Dusty. See you next week.